Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Sunless Sea with me, BrainBoy 20. When we last left off, we continued our journey in the attempt to find the Iron and Misery Funging Station, and we ended up in Polythereme. However, our fuel supplies are quite low, so we must make a return trip to London immediately. And we're carrying some special cargo, some claymen. As there's nothing more to do here, we shall set sail on a sunless sea. Hopefully our voyage does not take us into foes, and hopefully we can avoid the Khanate who are now hunting us, I believe. If they're not hunting us, they're at least somewhat annoyed with our presence in their land. And we're not going to be heading back to the Khanate for some time. Aside from that, it's full speed ahead on the way back to London, while we also search these locations to see if we can find anything more, i.e. more fragments, more secrets, and otherwise, and perhaps at the next port I'll try to improve my skills. Am I getting a straight shot to London? Most definitely not. We're gonna go see, maybe if there's an island on the way, we'll go and stop by for a visit. I would love to go there, but that's to the northeast. Can you go find something else? No islands within range. I'm going to make a quick pit stop at Field Haven. We'll get a little bit more information using our something awaits us at port. If you remember the Shepherd Isles. We learned of the Standing Stones. What are the three graves? Who sleeps beneath the turf over on that island to the northwest? Up from the Z-beds. You know the drownies, the sailors who won't rest. Well, they're here. I've seen them coming up out of the water, all white and dripping, and dig themselves into the ground. They take turns. I think they miss the feel of the earth. We now have a Z story, a tale of terror, and one more terror. And there's nothing else to do here, so we shall head on out. I'm going to check one last time, because there's one location I'd really like to discover immediately if I can. And I'm unlucky, because it's kind of the opposite. If anyone's wondering what locations I might be speaking of around these places, Field Haven wasn't exactly what I was looking for. What I was looking for in particular are very specific locations where a specific quality that we've yet to encounter. Corsair's Forest. That's near enough to a place I was interested in, but never mind, I won't tell you about it yet. When we encounter it, I'll tell you what exactly I'm speaking of when it comes to a certain quality that we have that's a one-time use. Bone Vadis Pillar, Patrick's Lot. Long way southeast. Move southeast. Though southwest I'd bother, but unfortunately that's not the case. Where do we have combat? Oh, fuck. Lights off. Full speed ahead. Let's see if we can get out of here before dying. Fudge. I don't even want to know what that one is. Pirate frigate. Is he friendly? Okay. He is. We're safe. No, we're not. We're never safe. Oh wait, Domino Island. I believe this is the Iron and Misery Funging Company. I'm surprised we found this place here. Oh well, we might as well make a pit stop then. I mean, this is where we were supposed to get the port report for the Admiralty. Or, I forgot what it's called specifically. Oh, we're dreadfully low on fuel because of my mistakes earlier on. If you remember, I accidentally overloaded the engines a little bit. Not in an event, mind you. At any point you could do full power to the engines, which dumps some fuel but gives you a burst of speed. Let us dock. Iron and Misery Funging Company on Demino Isle. A fervid forest of fungus. I&M has a fungar operation here, felling giant boleageous shrooms for building materials, harvesting curare for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Give the pass sign to the affable factor. The Admiralty asked you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strained smile. Here, little report, but we have had the Carnate privateers nosing around. And tell them that the company grows suspicious. Mr. Iron knows the Admiralty is interested in his business. Pray, my friend, that you never have to serve two masters, as I do. And now we can also get tea with the bandage passioneer. Poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. Tea with the factor. Or we could explore Demino Isle, or we could accept a volunteer. No, enough of that. Tea with the factor. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle, an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores, the scones are stale, even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Iram, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and the little restaurant at Venderbite, where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbite? I know. I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook. But you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also has a load of boleageous frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I've eaten so much of the stuff I fear that I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially toward you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat a rather lot of it first. We've gained a free supplies, we're told of an exceptionally fine restaurant, we got a fragment, and we lost to terror. And then we can compile a port report. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on Iron and Misery's activities. And we now have a port report. Of course, I&M's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. And we can also gather supplies. It's a matter of luck, which is a quality you cannot raise by any means that I know of. Some of the Isle's funguses are good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. We might as well. We gained 1 supplies and gained 2 terror. I'm not going to push my luck any farther. It's nice getting a ton of supplies, meaning I only need to focus on keeping my fuel high. Or having to use my supplies as emergency fuel. Anyway, time to ship off. Full steam ahead, to London we go. Oh, I actually went too far. That's really bad, actually. That's actually really bad. Because as you notice, we only have 1 fuel remaining. No, I've already used the, have I already used the message from home? Let me check. Not message from home, the hold. Yeah, we have recent news. And there's a small chance I actually have a way to get some fuel really quick. I just have to get lucky with a certain spawn. And we've entered a fog bank, but that doesn't matter anymore. Now our terror is increasing rapidly. Bony Reefs is a long way to the northeast. I don't care that much about that now. Although we're about to be on 0 fuel soon. We're just making a straight shot back to London. If we get lucky, there's a light ship right here. And I'll show you what the light ships do. Sluggish wave. The ship pitches. Megalops. Battle. No point. He can be as angry as he feels like. And he shall leave. I said he shall leave given time. My terror can rise as much as it wishes. Desperate measures? Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. This will disappear as soon as you have fuel. If you're in a position to purchase some, don't worry about it. Search your supplies for something useful. There must be something you can repurpose as fuel. Here you can trade 2 supplies for 1 fuel. A few last supplies, very little remains to you, but if you're lucky, perhaps something can be of use. This allows you to use your luck, allowing you a 50-50 chance to only use 1 fuel. We can make a sacrifice to Storms. Storm, the god on the roof, angriest of the 3. He's as likely to crush you as to save you, but you could hardly be worse off after all. He will require a death. Time to draw lots. We can make a sacrifice to Stone. Stone is the kindest of the gods of the sea. But that's not saying very much. She has a great wound from which a river of blood flows. Wound yourself in memory of her, and perhaps she'll show mercy. We can make a sacrifice to Salt. Salt, the god of horizons and farewells. Who knows what he'll do? Whisper a secret into the dark, and see. Fire distress fare. This is very unlikely to work, but if it works, you may regret what it brings. The Unterzee is not a swarm with friendly ships. And then we can abandon ship and draw lots for lifeboat places. Cast yourself on the mercy of the waves. There's a tiny chance you'll find your way back to London without either crew or ship. Perhaps it'll be better if you don't. Perhaps not, though. I think we can make it to London. Perhaps the Aurora Megalops will stop chasing me soon. He's getting really close to trying to hurt me. It's actually getting quite annoying. Ahoy, Captain. An offer of assistance. Ahoy, Captain. Out of fuel, are we? That was unwise. We can help for a reasonable price. Under the circumstance. Pay the towing fee. 100 echoes to travel a tiny distance between here and the docks. Well, salvage rights. Well then, we can give you a lift, but we're legally entitled to take your ship and cargo. God bless the masters of the bazaar and their salvage laws. God bless them. This will remove your ship and replace it with something minimal and a tiny bit of fuel. You'll probably lose your cargo too, but you'll keep any cash and lodgings, and at least you'll be alive. I'm going to ignore you. Once again, we will make it. At the cost of a little bit of terror. This is actually the highest amount of terror I've reached in a very, very long time. Anyway, we dock. Lights of London welcome you home. Collect messages from the harbour master, or the clatter and song of the dockside. It soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? What's this? Let's see. That's all for now. You'll have a free evening. Blind Bruiser would want a word. Something has changed underneath, and someone wants to sign on. Good evenings, my lord. And what a marvellous evening it is, if you don't mind me saying so. And given it is my impression you are an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. And since you're so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Montpellier with a few articles of cargo. If you happen to be in the area, a juryman will, of course, cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. We could refuse commission. Your hold is full. Your affairs are complex. Mount Palmerston is far away and full of devils. We could accept the commission. It is only, after all, a trifling inconvenience. And since I like the criminal underbelly of London so much, I shall accept the commission. If you would be so kind as to deliver this little gift to our friends in Mount Palmerston, then they will see we get to hear about it, and when you come back we'll cover your expenses. Bon voyage, as my aunt, who is French by birth, if not by inclination, used to say. Mount Palmerston is generally somewhere northeast of London. You agreed to smuggle souls from London to Mount Palmerston. You now have one unstamped crate of brilliant souls. At the alarming scholar, we have some things for you later. We have our lodgings, which we won't bother with just yet. Adventurer's desire, we have nothing for you. Let's go visit Clathermont's Tattoo Parlor. You're a real sailor now, after all. You can go to one of those tobacco and pray places by the docks, but the prices at Clathermont's are reasonable, and his daughters are real artists. But what sign will you choose? The Dauntless Hand, commemorating your daring. This will increase your iron by 2 points permanently and cure up to 25 points of terror. The Wheel of Mists, commemorate your sailor's skills. Increase your veils by 2 permanently and cure up to 25 points of terror. The Unflinching Eye, you've seen such sights. This will increase your mirrors by 2 permanently and cure up to 25 points of terror. The Splendor, something to recall your brighter days. Hearts by 2. The Gambit, some of Clathermont's tattoos are coded messages for spies. Perhaps you have a hidden motive. Moves in the great game. I don't know how to get that, sadly. Remain unblemished. If you wanted your memories on your skin, you'd be a squid. This will reduce your terror to 0 once only. I believe that I will take the Dauntless Hand. Because I can't take, unfortunately, I can't take pages. We'll get the terror drop and the increase in damage that would go welcome with my guns. Lost 1 echo. Memories, your own sweet skin quality is now the Dauntless Hand. A new you. The gold needle pricks. Lily Clathermont hums. The design is complete. Scales, mapping your fingers like a gauntlet. Wear it proudly. Gained 2 iron, lost 25 terror, and lost a tale of terror. Desperate measures, but that'll be fixed soon. The Alarming Scholar. I will I'm going to save that extraordinary implication for right now. But we shall give you a Z story, a tale of the deep. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Let me... Good heavens! It's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? Gained 10 echoes, lost a Z story. And a memory of a distant shore. A piquant piece of picturesque pilgrimage. As the Alarming Scholar listens, tears welling in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing, eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the desk blotter. Stop! She sobs. At last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macabre memories. I wish each individual tone recalled. Oh, come on, 10 echoes. Offer the scholar an extraordinary implication. What a tantalizing crumb. The scent of secrets. I will place it with the others. One day, I will have enough. Favors Antiquarian is increasing 2 fragments, and we gained 250 echoes. Anyway, onto the Dark Speckled Admiral. If you'll excuse me, someone's trying to contact me right now. Be back in 1 moment. Just a friend of mine. Anyway. So, submit our port reports. Okay, I'm gonna go to the port reports first before I drop off the current commission from the Admiralty. Wait a minute. Oh, strategic information, yes. Okay, good. We'll do the strategic information last. There's something very specific I wish to do to try to bump up my fuel reserves. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports, trade them in here. We're going to first check Hunter's Keep. I now have 1 fuel. The Admiralty favors remain unchanged. That's not what I wanted. We're going to use the Shepherd Isles. Submit as unsubstantiated hearsay. We do hear some unlikely tales of that place. Again, 1 fuel, 1 favors. Admiralty's favor is now 4, and I don't have port report of Shepherd's Isle. Friendly scoffing. I agree. It does seem implausible. So many of the stories from that place do. Still, there was a little gold of truth in the mud of rumor, from time to time. Your payment, my lord. This is going to be really annoying, but I'm going to be doing a jump back and forth because now I have favors of the Wolfstack docks available. And we're going to trade some of our points of favors in an attempt to gain fuel. Although before I do that, officers. Speed 2. I'd like you to increase my hearts. Sit down, I'll be with you in a moment, Captain. Increase your hearts. Oh, thank you. This is actually very interesting. Let me see if we can find something useful for you, too. Learning begets learning. The campaigner's knowledge is vast, but her patience, not always vast. She's never discourteous, but you do occasionally catch her looking at the clock. Just going to bring our hearts up to 30 base. And then, hate doing that. Anyway, back to the Dark Speckled Admiral. We have a very chancy challenge, 44%. Let's give it a go. Lost 1 favors, but gained 2 fuel. Success. Well, visit the Admiralty's fuel stores. If you've done good work, the Admiralty will issue you a little book with a book of little chitties. Successes, eventually. The good, free fuel. The bad, a half-an-hour argument with the quartermaster, who insists that your chitties have not been stamped by the Office of Incongruous Requests. Eventually, she grudgingly permits you to load your fuel cart. Oh, it's failed the challenge. That's disappointing. And then we go back to the Dark Speckled Admiral. Once I can find the port reports, which can be anywhere because it's so freaking annoying to find this. And then we shall bother with Godfall. Pirate monks? I honestly have no idea what we're supposed to do about pirate monks. What are they up to? Report submitted. You have new accomplishment surveyed Godfall. Gained 1 fuel, 1 favors, and no more port report Godfall. We head back to the Dark Speckled Admiral, and you see where this is going. Success! The quartermaster is not usually friendly, but you have enough sailors' jokes and harbor gossip to set her laughing nostalgically. She is remarkably liberal about her measurement of fuel. We've gained 3 fuel. Then we head back to the Admiral. And we'll go to Demo's Island. You've been to Demo's Gate? Your visit to Demo's Island has been confirmed by the Admiralty's records. You gain the 1 fuel. Lost 1 favor, gained 2 fuel. That was the failure state. But then again, we don't have any other fancier success. We don't have like crit success or crit fails on that. And we're not doing Station 3. We're saving that one for last. Polythreme, the king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. And gain 50 echoes, fuel, and have those accomplishments, and you see where this is going. You see, as long as you make regular visits to islands, fuel should never be an issue in this game. Anyway, Salt Lions. The Bazaar has always taken an interest in that place. Gain 1 favor's Admiralty, surveyed the Salt Lions. No longer have the port report on there, gained a fuel and echoes, and I think I'm going to save my favors. So, Station 3. Excuse me, just let me call a colleague in. Such wealth. You've earned enough echoes to buy better equipment for your ship. Click on the Shops tab. A new engine or deck weapon would be a good first purchase. Omitted. This is my colleague, Mr. Villain, of the Ministry of Public Decency. Mr. Villain, this good captain's report is here. If you would care to... Yes, the fire's already lit. Let us... There we go. Now only ashes remain. And it might have cost such a lot of trouble. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your discretion. Here is your payment. You need not trouble yourself further in this affair. Gained 1 fuel, 100 echoes, and I am no longer allowed to survey Station 3. They really don't appreciate anyone knowing about this, as you could tell. And now for strategic information. What's that? Indeed, indeed. I'll send you directly up to speak with the Admiral himself. Pass on the strategic information. The Admiral sits up, although he steeples his fingers and pretends calm. Invisible eyes. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory, he says at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you paid. 150 echoes, more favors, and lost 1 strategic information. And I believe we have a good enough amount of supplies and otherwise do not really care about what goes on. And we'll ask once again for another strategic information request. This port, speak to our agent there, and return. We'll see you rewarded. Retrieve strategic information from the Avid Horizons, somewhere northeast of London. Okay. I believe that's in the exact center. I think that's one of the islands that doesn't change. I think. And if you're wondering why there's no music, and why only the sound of my voice, it's because there is no music. It's a little shame, really. I'd like a little shanty tune, maybe. Oh well. Can't get everything you want, and this game is pretty much as good as it is, regardless. Anyway, London. Deliver the claymen. This is where they want it to be, or at least where they're supposed to be. Ashore. One by one, they rise, uncomplainingly, with no trace of stiffness or discomfort for the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on the dock, tapping her foot. About time, she says. Here's your payment. Come along. Now, come along now, you. There's a good construct. Cruise in Wolfstack docks. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble, or romance. A matter of luck. A sure thing? Or is it? We'll go with the new recruit first. Who awaits your attention? Engage a sailor. Ah, it's disappointing. It's just a sailor. Get out of here. Alright, we shall once again go back to cruise the Wolfstack docks. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. A marvelous night out. You know of one of this recent news, lost 10 echoes, fortunate, and reduced to terror. That night in Wolfstack you find yourself sharing a table with someone whose name you do not afterwards recall. Your only love is the sea, you take comfort where you find it, but that's all. Or, the likely lass, don't think I came down here to the dock just to see you. I've got business here, but all right, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. A few hours together, shared warmth, new memories. It's hard to say goodbye this time. Something new has occurred. Let's visit our lodgings. If anyone's interested, what we're currently trying to do is purchasing an elegant townhouse. Unfortunately, that costs 1,000 echoes, and there's a lot of other things we should be doing in the meantime. As of right now, our newest objective is to go to the Avid Horizon in the north, but as you see, we actually have 800 echoes at this point. And we also have to go to Mount Palmerston. We could definitely buy some better engine and increase the engine power. Or secure compartment. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the secure compartment yet. What I wanted to do was purchase some casks of mushroom wine. Takes 21, I need 10 casks, so I'll need to buy about 210. That works. London's currency is the echo. To earn money, explore the map and bring back port reports and treasures. You can trade, too, but exploration stories are much more profitable. And now we have 10. And if I can prisoners, honey, I'll keep on to that, just in case it becomes useful. And then we're going to go, not to the Iron and Misery Company, but Caro's Naval Supplies. I believe we have that Mark II gun as our current deck weapon. It's a torpedo launcher. A lot of these are aft weapons. That's the first front weapon in a while. Only front-mounted pure cannon. Oh, front weapon. Okay, never mind. We want a deck weapon here. And in this case, that'd be the Denunciation. Did they change the prices in the meantime? I believe they did. Oh well. Cotterell and Haversade's Denunciation. Hull damage plus 15, life damage plus 15, crew damage to 1, and a warm-up time of 4 seconds. The Denunciation, don't do it again. One of C&H's newer models. I don't see why we shouldn't buy it. And in our hold, let us replace the gun. And sell off the surplus. And that, my friends, I think handles everything we would do in London. When we come back, we will start messing around trying to find Mount Palmerston and the Avid Horizon in the northeast, as well as stopping by Vanderbilt. And we used some supplies. That's actually pretty disappointing that that occurred. Oh well. Oh, what's this? An unexpected letter. Who sent it? And what does it say? Your sweetheart. Return to London as soon as you may. Your sweetheart says, you are a father. Choose your option if you sire a child. Your sweetheart. A surprise for you on your next return to London. I've taken in a foundling. Choose this option if you're unlikely to be either a father or mother. You. When I return to London, I will bring an additional recruit. Your child. Choose this option if you're giving birth to a child. I think I gave birth to a child, clearly. No, my sweetheart. A new life. Go quickly. You have a child. Return to London to look after them, and they may become a scion, allowing you to take 2 legacies. And we'll bother with this next episode. Until then, this has been BrainBoy 20 with Let's Play Sunless Sea, and I am signing off.